More about SQL queries, and here today we have date. So in SQL query we can specify dates in two ways. The first one is a date value can be compared, and the second one is the literal, which can be compared against date field or date or time field. Now for 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 providing date we have two formats. The first one is a date only, and the another one is date and time, and it has few predefined formats through which you can actually query, and that is in form of year, month and date. And same way date and time has three predefined formats through which you can query, which includes time in a different format, as well as it one includes a time zone as well, time zone offset actually. And literals are kind of human readable string, which you can see here, like this week, yesterday, this year, next week. So these are two kind of things which we can use when we query based on date. And here the benefit of this date literal is that this is human readable, first thing. Second thing, we don't need any kind of calculation to do in query itself, so it would save lots of time. Here we have a few examples. Let's see those. Let me open developer console and let's find uh, select id, name, email, phone. Then another is birth date comma created date from contact, and let's see the overall result set. Okay, so remember this thing, if you keep a blank space here it would be treated as an error, so keep in mind this. Execute. So here we have the result set. Here you can see created this date is a date and time field which has date and time in a predefined format, and here you can see UTC uh, time zone offset. So and here birth date is a date field only. So let's play with date field, and here we can put a where clause where we can say that birth date uh, birth date equals, let me find this, and when we run this query we get a single record. Now there is another way of running this. So let's say we want to know all the records where birth date is equals to this month. Let's see the result. So here we have only one result, so this is practically not possible, but I have made an entry something like this to show you. Now we can actually make the query something like this: create date so here we have the result. So this is the very simple thing which we can do here, and you can actually refer Salesforce date documentation to learn more about literals. Now let's see few more uh, SQL statements. Here we are going to learn limit and offset. So limit and offset are basically used in conjunction but not necessarily You can use limit uh, differently, and offset will always be used with limit. So there are few facts we should know about limit and offset. We can actually retrieve 2000 rows only in a limit where we put a limit clause, and this is preferable to use limit with offset, and limit can be used in top level records only. And here is another thing which we would discuss later because it includes some complex query, so we will discuss this later when it is time to discuss this. And let's see how we can actually implement this limit limit clause. So let's say we want to fetch first 5 records from contact. What we can do, we can put limit as 5 records. Let's see if we get those. Yes, we are getting those. And to be to get more records, we can change this value. But if you want to use it with offset, you can put it something like this. It means that start from 0th index from the record and show me 5 records. So it would actually start from the first record based on the order which is default set by force.com platform. And if we want to be safe, what we can do, we can put order by clause to make sure that whatever results we are getting should be actually ordered by a field in a particular order, let's say in ascending order. So here what it interprets to a result which would actually be 5 results starting from 0th index, and before deciding 0th index, it would actually sort the result by name field as a ascending order. Now let's see, we want to get results from 5th record. Now from 5th we would be getting 5 results again. Let's run this query. Okay, so let me put this here. So limit clause will come first. Here we have got another 5 results. So if you see this, here the whole result set is there, and if you see, these 5 results are being shown first here, and we have fetched this from 0th index, and the next query range from 5th one, so it fetched from 5th result. Because this was not sorted by name, you see a difference over here. Okay, now this through this we can achieve paging of results. It means that we can retrieve the result based on this limit and offset clause, and these two things are variables. Like you have seen so many times in websites, we can actually fetch results. Let's see a live example over here. Let's go to contact and let's click on go. Here what you see, this at a time fetches 100 results. So if you want to fetch 100 result, you will have to use here 100. This won't be changing. But when you want more result to be shown, you can click here. So here you can see you would be seeing more results. And same way here, if you see, this paging appears. So if you click, if you want to go into second page, it would actually calculate the offset, and offset would be calculated. If you want to show 100 records at each time, then this on second page record should be shown from 101 record index. So that way we can achieve paging here. So this was another topic which we have covered. Now let's see group by clause. So group by clause is basically used for grouping your result based on a feed, and it is generally used with aggregate functions. Aggregate functions are functions which actually gives you the result, something like if you want to know the maximum of created date, maximum amount in your opportunity, and if you want to group it by some kind of field, you would be seeing that particular result. So here in first query, if you see this, select name comma max of created date, this is a kind of aggregate function, and we are fetching from account. Then we are doing a group by with name field. So all the names, so this is like, if we have, because name is unique, so it won't be giving me it would be giving me a result which have all the accounts. Now if I want to actually make it group by, I'll have to see which field is there through which I can make it group by. Let me go to accounts, and let's find few fields. That field is, you know, that field is, let's see, SLA. This is a agreement, service level agreement field, which is a custom field. And let's suppose we do so by, so let's say ID, name, from account. Let me remove this and let me make a group by SLAC. Oh, sorry, I must have used aggregate functions. Let's say I want to aggregate it by count. So here we have aggregate function. Oh, sorry, I should not use ID here as well. If you see that error, it clearly says so actually this tab is open, that's why it is not showing up the result. Let me close this as well and see, field must be grouped or aggregated, so ID should not be there. Let me remove this, and here we see the result. So if you see here, we have gold membership which have 2 records, similarly for silver 3, and others for platinum and bronze. So this is how we can actually make a group by clause to work. Okay, now we see few facts over here. The facts are something like, uh, if we are using a limit clause, we'll have to use a aggregate function. So this is the one fact. Then there is another fact that says that date time field, long text areas field and formulas cannot be included in group by clause. And why? This is defined by Salesforce or a force.com platform itself. And there is one thing, if you see the structure or schema of an object, you would see that in its field definition there is one property which is groupable false. So if that is false, that field also cannot be used in group by clause. Don't bother if you don't understand this. It is for an advanced user. If they understand this, that would be great. Now here we have few more things, like we say that alias is something like, if we are using group by, then in whatever fields is separated by comma can be actually accessed through these variables. So here this aggregated function can be represented something like this, and this minimum function can be represented by this. So it would be something like n. So this is the fact about group by clause. Now let's see few more examples, and we can see the examples. Uh, let's see, in contact object, what we can found, max of created date, comma, name, so, and we can actually group by, what field can be there, um, lead source. So let's say max created, comma, lead source, and we can put lead source here. uh, oh, again the same thing. Let me remove this. Here we can get that, because name is a unique, we cannot actually query based on that. So here we have this result. There is another thing which is called having. Having is equals to where, but it differs it in in one aspect, that is having would have a having would have a filter criteria as a aggregate function, but in where we have seen that we can include several kind of criteria, like where name equals to so and so and id equals to so and so. But in case of having, we'll have to use aggregate function like average, count, min, max, etc. So here if we see the example, here we are querying a lead object and doing a group by lead source, having count of name greater than 100. What does it mean? It means that It is counting all the records of lead, and that is two, two by lead source, which have count of record greater than 100. So this is the case where we can use having clause. That's very simple. You can try it, and we can explore more SOQ queries as and when required. For now, that's all from my side. Thank you.